Good morning. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit late this morning. I hope you're all able to hear and see me. Nicola is not here this morning. So if you can hear me, please let me know in the chat. All right, so this morning I wanted to focus on citizenship. And if you're just tuning in, you are listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. This program is for information purposes only. If you need legal advice, you can contact me, Antoinette Osborne, at 718 502 9137. That's 718 502 9137. Good morning, KK. Good morning, Steffi. All right, so this program is for information. If you need legal advice, you can contact the office at 718 502 9137. That's 718 502 9137. The office focuses on divorce, immigration, bankruptcy, real estate, and estate matters. We also do eviction proceedings. There is a second office in Jamaica, West Indies that focuses on legal representation if you're seeking to buy or sell property, or if you are looking to wrap up an estate. So this morning, I wanted to focus on citizenship. And before I begin, I wanted to let people who have the work permit starting October 27, 2023, back, I think, in 2022, when you had applied to renew your work permit, you got an automatic extension of 540 days. Unfortunately, starting October 27th, they are reducing that automatic extension to 180 days. And the reason being is they are confident that their processing time, they are aiming for the average processing time to be 30 days. For anyone who has ever applied to renew their work permit, they can tell you confidently. Sometimes this has taken a year, sometimes this has taken 2 years. In the meantime, their job is in jeopardy. Some people got terminated. Some people were lucky enough that the employers were able to hold their position until they got the work permit. But let's get real. I don't think any employer is going to sit down, sometimes taking a year, 2 years for you to get your work permit. Good morning, Pauline. Good morning, Mal. Please remember to like the live, also to share the live. What can I tell you? There are changes that goes on daily with immigration. Can I say that them reducing this automatic extension from 1 to 180 days from 540 days, is it realistic? Not really. The processing time is ridiculous. And when you need your work permit to eat, some people, their jobs, the HR department is a wolf. They do not play. And once the permit is up, nobody wants those violations. If there is ever a raid, that they are going to get a fine. So employers are forced to let go people. They don't want to, because in this job market, they're saying it's difficult to find a job, but you have employers there who are lacking the requisite employees. Good morning, Andre. All right, so just tuning in, welcome to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. This morning, I wanted to focus on citizenship. And this is going to be a part one of a part two. So, why become a US citizen? You have your nationality from your home country. And the question is, why really would you want to become a US citizen? I'll tell you why. Especially with what's going on, sometimes you really need that ability to vote. Yeah. And it allows you to vote in federal elections. And anyone who is a green card holder or who has absolutely no status, you should not be voting nowhere. And you know what was sad is years ago, a lady came to me and some politician, he was trying to encourage people to enroll to vote, and he caused this woman to go and sign up to vote. She had no papers. And what you have to understand is people who are in elected offices, not all of them are aware of the ramifications of the immigration laws. And this man enrolled this woman to be able to vote. By doing this, what he did was to cause her to attest that she is a US citizen under penalty of perjury. And after September 30th, 1996, there are absolutely no waivers for this. And unfortunately, her sister, having waited, and anybody who has a sibling filing for them, this one was 245I. She was eligible to pick up in the United States because this is what 245I does. It allows you to be able to adjust in the United States. And having waited all these years, her application got denied because they were able to pull the records that she had enrolled and registered to vote. And this is why not every advice that you get, and why I emphasize be very wary of village lawyers, having waited for years for her sister to file for her. The case got denied for rubbish, for enrolling to vote, where this woman never even had to do this. And this is why sometimes you want to be involved. I'm going to encourage you, don't be involved like that. You know, you have absolutely no status. I don't care if the person is not an immigration attorney, right? Because this area changes daily. I mean, look at, when is it, October 27th, all of a sudden they are reducing the extension from 540 days. That automatic extension is now being reduced to 180 days. This is an area of law that you have to keep up with all the time. And this a crosses man make this woman go enroll and closed her only door to get papers in the United States. It was a travesty of justice. There was absolutely nothing I could do for her. It is what it is. Yeah. Excuse me. And having waited so long, no, Baba, when me tell you, say, mm-mm, I would not be amused. Yeah, when you wait so long, and this is a foolishness that would happen. So the advantage of doing your citizenship, you are able to vote in federal elections. You can travel with a US passport, which is like a dime when you think of, you don't have to have a visa to go to certain countries. For those of you who have an interest in politics, you can run for elective office. You can participate on a jury, even though no fun to get that notice and hide. For your friends who don't have no papers, because I swear it's a post office them use, and if them see that you get in mail, all of a sudden you get this notice to appear for jury duty. And I'll tell you this, People who don't have papers, this is the worst thing that they can get, that they must go to court and then get freed. Yeah. I had a client, she come to me and she was sweating. How the backside them fine her and she get this notice for come to court. So for any of your friends or relatives or colleagues, or probably your own here, because we help everybody, yeah? If they get this notice and they have absolutely no papers, let them fill out the paperwork correctly. Let them attach a copy of their passport, turn in the form that they are not qualified to serve on the jury, and this will actually cause them to be removed. I can't send another year or two, them now gonna send the same notice again, but at least for that particular selection, that pool they wanted them to be in, they're able to prove document wise that they were not eligible. Client followed the instructions and she was so happy because when you really not have no papers in America, you don't want to get too involved in certain things. And you really don't want nobody else send you no notice, yeah? So just tuning in, you're listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. This morning, I am going to be focusing on citizenship. And we're just talking right now the benefits, because some people have their green card, they don't want to apply. And I'll tell you this: your citizenship allows you to obtain certain state and federal benefits that not even a green card holder can get. Not to talk about the fact that for people who want to return to their home country, it actually allows you to be out as a US citizen for whatever time period you want. Just a caution to you green card holders who take upon yourself because you want to go home and you're out of the country more than 6 months. This breaks your continuity of physical presence to apply for your citizenship. Not to mention, you're out of the country for more than a year. You have been deemed to abandon the green card. And if it is that you have nobody to file for you, yeah, dog and name supper. For those of you who don't care, you have your probably your kids are here. So even if they take away the green card, your children can always file for you. You're an immediate relative of a US citizen. Then you really don't care. I can't get filed back again. Not everybody have the opportunity to be refiled for. So just tuning in. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Amarilda. Good morning, Sunshine from Florida. Good morning. Amarilda says, like and share, family. Thank you. So Amarilda is my moderator today because Nicola, unfortunately, is not here. Good morning, Melanie. All right. From Mount Vernon. So we have to focus on some of the benefits of getting the US citizenship. Yeah. And one of the most important things is it allows you to expand the family members you can file for. So only US citizens can file for their siblings. Only US citizens can file for their married children. You have kids who are being filed for, and them can't wait. Some of them in a them church, and them don't want to live no dirty life out a road. So yeah, especially everybody know church politics is the worst politics. And nobody holds watchy winsome like church. Oh, winsome is in church, honey. And let me tell you, there is no folks in your business like church folks. So you have your kids and you're filing for them and you're a green card holder. If they get married, them just kill your petition, your money waste. And one of the things I know, I specifically tell my clients who are green card holders, because if you have your children outside of the country, as soon as you arrive here on the green card, or if you're adjusted and you get the green card and you have your single kids, file for them. A lot of you waste time and you waste 5 years waiting to get your citizenship. That just took 5 years out of your children's processing time. So I'm gonna encourage you, that your friends, your family member come, and even your parents, because you filing for your sibling takes 15 years as a citizen. However, when the parents come and the kids are single, it takes 8 to 8.5 years. But the citizen, let's look at processing time. And I'll tell you the advantage of being a US citizen, especially when you're filing for your children and they are close to aging out and they are running at that border of 21 years old. When you file for your citizenship, what this does is it freezes that child's age. So I had a client where the child was going to become 21 in a month, and we were at the interview. She was doing her testing for her naturalization. And I said to the officer, look, she's filing for her son. I showed her the receipt notice. And I'm like, this child it was about 4 weeks, is going to become 21. And that woman, she checked as to the oath ceremony dates and why my client have to owe taxes. So we have a run, and thank God it was in Holtzville. So the tax office was closed, so we run up in there. I think she had paid off the money, or she had gotten into an arrangement, can't remember right now. We have to run back to the immigration office, speak to the officer, and she was able to get her swearing date. I think it was like a week before his 21st birthday. So his age was frozen. And this is the advantage. Only citizens have this advantage. Yeah. When they file for their kids and the kids are under 21, that age is frozen. So even when a green card interview comes after their 21st birthday, they are treated as if they are under 21. So they have that expeditious filing of their age is frozen, and they're not placed in another category. This is not the same for a green card holder, where if the statute can't get you back under 21, you are now belly bottomed and put down into a different category roster. And that 2 year wait that green card holders have for children under 21, when that child, because they're over 21 now and they cannot get the benefit of the statute in calculating their age to put them back under 21, they have an actual 7.5 to 8 years wait, and that child is waiting. And people get frustrated because, especially with kids, where they're probably planning, all right, this is what they're gonna do concerning college or go to trade school, because college is not for everybody, honey. And I'll tell you, young girls is a trade man, them that have the money. All right, so we have Renee and Regatta and Rohan joining in. So Rohan says, hi, good morning. Quick question. My wife and I are getting a divorce. Oh, I'm sorry to hear, love. I am, let me see what he's saying here. I am expecting what is this, 9 to 11 disability check for about 90,000. Is my wife entitled to half? I will not put it in the joint account. You better not put it in a joint account. I'm glad you've been learning. Here is the situation. When you get any form of payment, and it is as a result of your own pain and suffering. Yeah, because when you feel your pain at night time, or in the day because of this disability, that's yours. So the law treats that as separate property. So Rohan, this is what I'm gonna encourage for you, baby. Go open a brand new account because you have to trace the money. You see, when you get that check, big man, we're not share for our pain and suffering. Sorry. Yeah. Let me tell you something. So when you get that check, run go open a account. You're gonna make a copy of the check. Yeah. Not that we mean, but yeah, we are get divorced, girl. So your time expire. Yeah, so we're gonna make a copy of the check. Then we're gonna go to the bank and then we're gonna open an account with that check. So the opening balance is the exact amount of the check. And we're not putting a dollar from any sort of employment or a one money I run in that account and I would get disability money. Yeah. Morning, Lester. Yeah. So Rohan, this is my instructions to you, baby. Yeah, we want to keep our money, especially when it comes from with pain and suffering. Yeah. It's not marital property. Monies, yeah, from your personal injury is your separate property and don't mix the money. Yeah, you open your own account, keep proof where the money came from, have your statement with the opening balance, and don't put another dollar in that account until after you file for your divorce because monies that you have earned, yeah, after your divorce. I feel your money. Sorry. Girl, things life not good again with you. Yeah. Run soon get a new woman visa. But these are the benefits for filing your citizenship. And I'm gonna encourage those of you who are green card holders and you know you have family members to file for, go and apply for your citizenship. Amarilda says, I am freezing. Lord, Master, bear with me because you know, so the internet not really that good in Jamaica. So, yeah, unfortunately, work with the program this morning. Sorry for the freezing, but unfortunately, this is what me I work with. Bear with me. All right, so how you get this wonderful citizenship, right? Who are citizens here? Because some people are gonna get con, and especially if you have an immigration filing that is you're looking to do, right? And you want to look at your partner's paper, I'm going to just let you know concerning your citizenship. If your partner is a citizen, your partner is going to be a citizen if he was born in the US, and that's the United States of America, because some people are create them own US, or if they were born in a US territory, and whether it's Puerto Rico, whether it is a canal zone or Republic of Panama, and this is before February 26, 1904 to October 1st, 1979. So these are the Panamanians I am referring to. The Virgin Islands, the US Virgin Islands, not the British Virgin Islands. You see somebody come from Tartola and I come claim so them a US citizen. No, girl, that not gonna help you. All right. If they were born in Guam, or and this is being born in Guam after 1899. So Terry's saying no freezing here. Terry, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so Melanie asks, what if you are married living in the USA, then get a divorce? Can your citizen parent file for you in the US, and how long will it take? All right, so here's the danger where you have adult children who are in the United States and they're living here and their parents are filing for them. That parent and child has to be aware that you cannot adjust here in the United States unless you're 245I. So, what's going to be required of that child is when the visa number becomes available and they're processing with National Visa Center, they are required to apply for a waiver. Now, with that provisional waiver, and the waiver them can take anywhere from, I'm seeing a year, sometimes 3 to 4 years. Yeah. The problem is if the waiver don't get approved, dog name your supper. Yeah. So if you're just tuning in this morning and you're joining us, Terry says the live is no longer freezing. Thank God. If you're just tuning in, you can also text your question this morning to 718-502-9137. That's 718-502-9137. Just a reminder, the office focuses on immigration, divorce, bankruptcy, and we also do real estate and evictions. We have a second office in Jamaica where we focus on legal representation if you're buying or selling property in Jamaica. And the price them here very high. Yeah. And I can't understand what is going on in getting a mortgage in Jamaica. I find that the processing times, yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so like when we get a contract and we see them want to close in a 90 days, where in which Jamaica, and you get mortgage that not gonna work. You don't know it, I gotta take a time. All right. So you can also acquire, yeah, your US citizenship for people who are born outside of the United States and one or both parents are US citizens at the time of their birth. They will be able to acquire US citizenship. All right, so J Vision is asking, good morning, married but have felonies. Mom got married in 87 and didn't file for me. Now my record is messed up. When me and my wife tried, we did the interview, then they wanted a second interview. I'll tell you this, I hope your criminal dispositions were reviewed by an immigration attorney. There's no need for us to walk in fire. Anybody who have a criminal record, your disposition must be reviewed by an immigration attorney before you dare to put in any application. And one of the things that I have found with some parents why they cannot file for their children is when they were applying for the green card, some of your parents never disclose, and this is why they don't later file for you. So if you're just joining us, hi Flavia, hi Rohan. Rohan says thanks, and finally I can put a face to the voice. Yes, Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock we go live. Yeah, we're not having a radio station again, so YouTube. So don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to share the live, right? So your children can also, people can derive US citizenship. And this is why you'll see some people with what is called a certificate of citizenship, right? So these are people who are able to derive citizenship from their parents who were naturalized before their 18th birthday. They are green card holders. They are in their parents' custody and they were legitimated before their 18th birthday, right? So, and that parent is a US citizen. Good morning, Bridget. All right. So, what's happening now? You're filing for your citizenship, right? So, the officer has to question you, right? And their questions are going to be one, they're questioning you, they have that form, they're going to be questioning you concerning your biographic information, the history of the address, how you got the green card, the length of time that you have been a green card holder, and this is where some people go and get catch. Yeah. For those of you who like to travel and you have the green card and you are out of the country for more than 6 months, I am going to, and but less than a year, I hope you have proof that, and they don't care about your intention. So I really hope you have proof. Say you did a pay your rent, you are paying your credit card bills, you're maintaining your credit card, paying utility bills, you still had your job, you kept alive here. Yeah, because you are going to break the chain of continuity. Yeah. So what happens if you're out more than a year? Excuse me. If you're out more than a year, some of you go and get a notice to appear in immigration court for deportation because you have abandoned the green card. So this is why they ask you if you've been out of the country for more than 6 months, they want your travel history for the last 5 years. With that, they are trying to make a determination whether or not you have maintained your residence here and whether or not them should have put in a removal proceedings. Yeah. A lot of people got away with this in 2000 when most airports were just closing down because nobody wanted the corona. Yeah. So some people are out of the country for more than 6 months. I know people who went through JFK, they were a little bit more lenient. And I'll tell you this, I had a client who was out for more than 2 years. And I'm like, the green card had not expired. And she was like, but it was Corona. I'm like, Corona was 2020. It's now 2022. I told her, buy a ticket. First of all, I had to make sure she had somebody to file for her. She had a daughter here who was a US citizen. So I tell her, buy the ticket and work it out at the airport because even if she ends up in removal proceedings, what happens is she had a US citizen daughter who could refile for her. So this is what we have to take into account. Yeah. If it is that you are going to unfortunately jeopardize your green card, make sure that you have someone who has the ability to file for you and try and make sure you're still admissible. Yeah. That is so important. Yeah. All right. So someone sent a text. So let's see what they're saying. All right. It is so, so important that, God forbid, you lose your green card, you have the ability to get refiled for. All right. So someone said, good morning, Miss Antoinette. My friend is a US citizen who went back to Jamaica in and got married in 2020. He now wants to file for his wife. Will he have problems since he hasn't worked or paid taxes in about 5 to 7 years in the United States? Okay, so if it is, yeah, he's in Jamaica. If he was working in Jamaica, he should have been filing taxes here. Being out of the country is absolutely no excuse as a US citizen why you should not be filing taxes. What I would recommend for him is to return to the United States, get a job, and get a joint sponsor because in order to file for anyone, your affidavit of support requires you to be domiciled in the United States. So anyone who is filing for anyone, when you sign that affidavit of support, there's a reason they want your domicile answered. And the reason being is if you're not domiciled in the United States, unless you are outside of the country working for the US government, where your application going, you're not domiciled. And this is why whenever you're leaving the country and you have certain intentions that you have within your purview, you want to file for somebody, this is really not the time to travel unless you are just gonna be traveling. Cause you gotta see a man. Yeah. Everybody knows righteous and now work. So everybody, most people is traveling out to find their spouse. And especially when you culturally you have a different value system, different beliefs. This is why you'll find people traveling to their home country and they are bringing their spouse cuz righteous sir? No sir. All right. So we want to look at what they're looking at when you go into your interview. What is, what's in the officer's head? What is it he's trying to achieve? What are you going to be asked? Questions. Favor, are you a clap? Yes, girl. You look like you're in a long distance. Culturally righteous, sir? All right. So the officer is going to look at your absences, your travel history for decide whether or not he is going to tell you, okay, from the last time you travel, make sure you have 4 years and I think it's a day before you can actually come back to apply for your citizenship. Or he may say, okay, I'm looking at your travel history and it is clear you do not need this green card because you are clearly living in another country and have established life in another country. So I am just going to put you in deportation proceedings. And this is why your travel history is so important. They look at where your places of residence, they look at your employment history. And I'll tell you, one of the things that fail people a lot is your moral character or lack of good moral character, and also your criminal history. And anyone who has been convicted of an aggravated felony, you don't have good moral character. Don't waste your money and put in for your citizenship. You nah get it. Yeah? Me not care how long you fast, you nah get it. All right. So they also look at your affiliations or your membership in certain organizations, your willingness to take the oath of allegiance, and any other pertinent thing where they are going to review your application and decide that you are not a person qualified for this. So let's go into your interview now. What is in your file? Someone naga go at immigration and this file I got very thick and have a very long history. It could be because of the fraudulent applications people putting in for you, hoping and praying that you will get a green card, and those fraudulent applications are not destroyed. So when you actually go into immigration, every application that you have ever made with them is in that file. And that's why it's so thick. Yeah. I remember I was in an interview once and the officer, the way she have to step out of the room and the way she hold the file. No, no, no. We don't really want nothing in your file still. Yeah. So they look at your past applications. They look at all the correspondences between you and them, any memorandums or forms that were left in your file by other officers. Yeah, and of course, your criminal records. All of this is going to be in the file. And this is why, where you go into your interview, they're asking you about arrests that you have forgotten. Yeah, unfortunately, immigration, don't forget, girl. So I'm gonna encourage those of you who have your criminal records, make sure that you actually get all your dispositions and make sure that they are certified. Make sure going into that or putting in that application, those dispositions were reviewed by an immigration attorney. Now, here's one of the things. Moving during your application. I can't emphasize enough, changing your address with the post office does not change your address with immigration. In addition, yeah, if you go and you change your address. Now they have this new change your address online where it is updating your address across the board. That's fantastic. You must have a USCIS account for this, which I encourage anyone who has an immigration filing, go and open, and this is done online, a USCIS account, so that if there are any documents that are uploaded in that account, you have access to it. Now, here's some of the problem with people now. As immigrants, we move a lot in this country, right? Yeah, probably you and your landlord have cask, you can't pay your rent. No, enough things why you may move. The difficulty is when you move and the card is delivered, whether you notify them or not, once they have proof of delivery, it's not on them. You have to apply for a replacement card. And this is why I can't encourage people enough. Make sure that your address with USCIS is correct. Not even to mention immigration court. Make sure your address is correct, because your failure to notify them of your change of address, and they send out a notice, and you never get that notice because you failed to keep your address, that there's going to be an order of deportation made in your absence. Are you going to be able to open it because you failed to provide them with your address? Highly unlikely. And this is how keeping your address up to date is so important. Now, when you move during your citizenship application, what happens is in fact, the officer is going to do the interview, and then he's going to transfer the file. Now, what you have to understand is this will add delay to your application. Yeah. I wouldn't encourage nobody for moving at them across this process here. I would not. I would wait on my citizenship to be changed, because here is the issue. If you have somebody who, especially time is a factor, and you need to get that citizenship, yeah? Uh-oh, Melanie is saying it is freezing. Oh boy. Gentle people who listening on Sunday mornings, you have to bear with me. The Wi-Fi in Jamaica is not that great, and it is causing the live to freeze. Melanie saying continuous freezing. Melanie, I apologize. When you're back home and the internet is not that great. So unfortunately, seems to be freezing, and this is out of my control. I am going to be continuing for a few more minutes because the live is freezing, and I know it must be annoying. Nobody wants to be watching me like this. No. All right. So I'm gonna try and get through what little I have left to keep my community informed. I apologize for the freezing. Hey, Wi-Fi in Jamaica is not that best. All right. So with regards to moving, it is going to delay your citizenship application. For those of you who are doing your citizenship, you have a test, right? And the officer is going to review the information. He is going to administer the civics test, that's a history test. He is also going to be doing the reading and the writing test as well. If you have been approved, then the next thing they are going to be doing is scheduling you for your naturalization interview so that you can get your certificate. I'm sorry, your oath ceremony, so you can get your certificate of naturalization. There's a form that you are required to fill out if there are any changes. Marriage or divorce doesn't really affect you much unless your divorce is caused where unfortunately you're basing your application for citizenship on marriage to a US citizen. If you get divorced, this is going to affect your ability, and unfortunately your case will get denied. So try hold on to the man or the woman till you get your certificate, right? With regards to you failing that test, if you fail your reading, writing, or your history test for your citizenship, you get a second opportunity to come back. And I think they have to reschedule you within 90 days of you unfortunately failing the test, either 60 or 90 days. So you are going to get an opportunity to go in and redo you're just doing the portion that you failed. So if you failed the writing, you're going to get, and anyone who is doing the writing test for their citizenship, it's done on an iPad. So it's not like you get paper and pen. No, it's done on an iPad so the officer can see what's happening on the screen. If you fail it, don't get disheartened. You do have a second opportunity. But if you're on your second opportunity, you fail again, unfortunately, your case is going to get denied, right? Now, here is one of the things. When your application, you have done the tests, you've done the history tests, you have done the reading and the writing. Now, when it is that everything has been approved, you're being scheduled for your oath ceremony, a second officer takes a look at the file. And the reason being is if the first officer missed something and this citizenship should have been denied, or the second officer has more questions, they are going to bring you back in for an interview. So get that comfort level when you reach your oath ceremony. Because if the second officer finds something, yeah, if the second officer finds something, yeah, you no problem. Me can't make it no simpler. They're there to verify the information taken by the first officer. And if it is that the first officer missed something and this case is denied, or he feels that I want to ask you something because you never mentioned this arrest, they're going to call you back in. Make sure you have your dispositions and make sure you have an explanation why it wasn't mentioned, right? I I remember I had a client and the wife was in deportation. So when you're in deportation, time is of the essence. And I asked this gentleman, how many times have you been arrested? First, he said once. So we had one disposition. I could never get a straight. I hate when you can't get a straight answer, right? And then he was confident it was only once. When we were going to the interview, the officer asked about a second arrest. I can't understand how, for me personally, if me have any encounter with law enforcement, this is going to be trauma, honey. Yeah? We use the Jamaican police, and say anybody from Jamaica knows say it rough. Yeah? So I don't want to have a conversation with them. I'm sorry. I was black in America, conversation with police. No, we don't like that. Sorry. We're going to the interview, the officer asking about a second arrest. I'm truly annoyed now. So now he has to go back. Time is against me, right? This is the second time I'm trying to save your wife who is in removal proceedings. And you playing yourself. You serious right now? So send this boy back for this second disposition. When he come back, he sit down. Can no, the mother-in-law with him now. So Antoinette, don't get mad. A 3 arrest. Really? How you never remember the 3rd arrest? Oh, me did give them a different name. I can't. Welcome to my job, my brothers and sisters. Is this not Wahala? I beg. So now me have to run through the 3 disposition. Yeah? Can don't look good to the officer. I'm going to provide explanation because how much time you gonna lie? 1 time, then find 2? Anyway, we'll go back in and then get the citizenship. Look here. For those of you who like entangle with law enforcement and you have people to file for, wait till you get your citizenship now. Just wait till after now. Can you have family members to help? Inshallah. All right, so we are coming to the end of the program. You're listening to Legally Speaking with attorney Antoinette Osborne. Telephone numbers to call during the week, it's 718-502-9137. Don't forget to subscribe and like the live. So what about those of you who failed to appear for the interview? Immigration, for some reason, for the citizenship application, it's not like a regular application where like you fail. Oftentimes, they will just administratively close your file for a year. What that mean? Them just put on the file. Them not deny your case, but them not approve it either. You never come for the interview. You have 1 year to open that file. If after a year you don't open the file, then yeah, your case getting denied for abandonment, right? And oftentimes when you have an application to make, especially when you're supposed to go in for your fingerprints and you fail to appear, you don't have a good excuse why you have not appeared, and you fail to notify immigration, what's going to happen is that they are going to deny your case for abandonment. And me don't know about you, Goody, but when you spend so much money, can you know them application not cheap? Yeah? And sometimes when we get the second filing fee, you have to beg, borrow, sometimes even thief. Borrow without the person knowing. Yeah. You gonna make the people them just deny your things, so that makes sense? No, sir. No. You may have people who wish to withdraw their application as well. Why you want to withdraw it? Probably having the application processed is going to put you into more harm. Yeah? And you're trying to save yourself. So you withdraw the application. So there is absolutely no determination on your application. All right. So we are at the end of the program. For those of you where it is freezing, I'm so sorry. Internet is not good in Jamaica. So someone says, do you have to pay a second time to take the test? This question, Melanie, to me seems twofolded. When you say a second time, Is it that in the first application you get called in because you failed some aspect on your first testing? Then no. If you have completely failed, where you got a notice of decision of a denial and you have to reapply, then absolutely you will have to pay again. Some people appeal the decision. It's called a rehearing on your naturalization. So I've had clients who have appealed because there was an issue concerning their criminal record. What the appeal does is, if there is an issue, let's say your criminal record, and you appealed and we were able to successfully get it approved, she didn't have to do the test, but she had to pay for the appeal. Some people may want to reapply again. And yes, if you get a notice of decision which contains a denial, you are doing a fresh application. All right, so we are at the end of the program. Thank you for tuning in. Numbers to call during the week to make an appointment, it is 718-502-9137. Have a blessed Sunday. Live good with your family.